If your home has been sitting on the market for a while and you're just not getting the offers that you were expecting, that's okay. In this video, we're gonna break down common things, common reasons why your New Jersey home might not be selling, and more importantly, what can you actually do about it and fix the situation? Let's get into it. The obvious one, reason number one, is the home is just priced too high. A lot of times, especially if the seller is not in a rush, they'll say, oh, I have time, we can list it here and just see what happens. In real estate, that's a terrible strategy. The first thing you want to do when you list, those first couple weeks are most important to you. That's when you want all the buzz. That's when you want all the buyers to come check out your house. You want to make it competitive. You want all of these people to fight for your house. But what happens is, if you price too high, the buyers are aware of the comps. They see what other houses in the neighborhood are selling for, and they know that you're asking for too much. I know your home is special to you, but to another buyer, they're comparing it to your neighbor's house or to the one, two houses down or whatever else was sold recently. The important thing to remember here is that the market determines the price of your home, not the seller. So the market is going to dictate what a buyer is willing to pay for that home. Personally, I've been on a listing appointment where I'm talking to a seller and they're totally unrealistic about the price of their home. I just try to give all the data so they can see it, get a real idea of what their home will possibly go for, and then we can decide, my best strategy to market the home and to get them that top dollar. Unfortunately, they might not see the story how I see it, and sometimes there's a little pressure from the seller that says, you know what, no, we want to list it here regardless of what you say. And sometimes as a realtor, that's when I have to walk away because I know that that's not going to be the right situation. I do have an example. It was a house down in Monmouth County, and I met with the seller. We went through a bunch of comps, and I said, new construction homes of your size are listing around 1.4 million. And this seller, they loved their home. They lived there for 30, 40 years. They had done multiple renovations. So they thought that the comps were not justified, and they thought they were going to go beyond that. They told me they wanted to list it at $1.7 million. And at that point, we couldn't agree, and they wound up listing it with another agent. So flash forward, it's been about 13 months. And since they listed it for 1.7 million, they've dropped it to 1.6. They dropped it to 1.5. They dropped it to 1.4. They dropped it to 1.3. And then they dropped it to 1.2. And it's still on the market. I feel terrible. They're a very sweet couple, and I wish them the best. I hope they can sell it. But this is what happens when you don't list a home at the right price. Another reason why your home might not be selling is poor listing photos. This is another thing that some sellers, for some reason, think, oh, it doesn't matter that much. I have the photos. Here they are. Just get them listed. And as a professional realtor, that's not something I'm willing to do. I always hire a professional photographer, and we always take top quality photos to really present the home as best as we can. When the buyers are looking at the MLS, they're looking at Zillow and Redfin and Realtor.com, they're swiping through photos. You really need the photos to pop to catch their eye. And if you have blurry photos, if you have dark photos, the blinds are down, the toilet seats are up, the fans are spinning, these are all things that are really going to hurt the presentation of your home. And this is your largest financial asset. This is something that you should really care about and take the time to hire professional quality photographers like Smiley Impact, who's right around this camera.
Another reason is limited marketing. So essentially, people just put a sign on your property and they hope that it's going to sell, but we're way beyond that now. So typically what I like to do, I figure out where your buyers are coming from, and then I do geo-targeted advertising to those areas to drive as much traffic as humanly possible to those open houses when I list on a Tuesday and delay showings until Saturday, Sunday open houses. So what that does is create a level of urgency to drive buyers into your property to maximize our position and our leverage as sellers in a seller's market in New Jersey. Another reason is that the home's just not showing well. I've walked into a ton of properties where, aside from hitting my head in basements that are too small for me, I run into cobwebs and I get spiders in my eyes. Bit of an exaggeration, but you get the gist. The home has to show well. If there's too much furniture, we go through strategies on how to declutter. Also, if there's things that you have to spackle or compound and paint, we do a pre-walkthrough for you. And we also do a pre-inspection list and have a home inspector come prior to going on the market to make sure that there's no obstacles when we go live. Another thing, when it comes to odors, when you're walking into a property, I want it to smell clean. I want it to smell fresh. Sometimes I'll use candles or like essential oils. I don't want to disrespect anybody, but I also want it to be a neutral kind of smell for when the buyer walks in, they can feel like it's their own home instead of somebody else's. Another reason is that the market has shifted. So rates were in the low 6s, maybe you got even a high 5, and now they're up to 6.5. This is a huge market shift. So buyer demand might lessen, and if you're priced too competitively, maybe you're not receiving the offers and the traction that you might have wanted to. So strategy in terms of what we can do to avoid that, one is price watching. So essentially understanding all the active homes on the market and what they're doing and how they're competing against our home in the market. As your agent, we're not just pricing the home once. We're going to continuously monitor the situation so we can assess our strategy and revise it accordingly. That way, we have the best pricing strategy that works for you and your family to net you the most amount of money at sale.
So what can a seller do if their home isn't selling in today's market? Again, we need to take an honest look at where we're at. Where are the comps? How is our pricing looking compared to the other houses? How are the photos? How is the presentation? Are we marketing professionally? Maybe you didn't hire the right agent. And always, how is the home showing? What does it smell like? What is the ambiance? What is the feel when you walk in? Is it bright enough inside? Is the cluttering limited? These are all things that are affecting the sale of your home, which is money at the end of the day in your wallet.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment. If you feel like you've run into situations like this before, let us know. I'm Bill Kwong, a local real estate agent in North Jersey.
And I'm Jordan Zuber, your local New Jersey real estate expert. Thanks for watching.